There was a moment you sat in complete silence, and you asked a question you were almost afraid to say out loud. God, are you even there? You didn't say it in a church. You didn't say it during a worship song or in the middle of a prayer meeting. You said it in the dark, alone, when the weight of everything became too heavy to carry by yourself. And I need you to stop right now, because what you are about to hear is the answer to that very question. Close your eyes for just a moment. Breathe. You did not find this video by accident. You didn't scroll past 100 other things and land here by chance. Something or someone guided you here. Right now. Today. At this exact moment in your life. And before we go any further, I want you to understand something important. Doubt is not a sin. Doubt is not proof that your faith is broken or that you are a bad person. Doubt is simply proof that you are human. But here is what God needs you to hear today. He has not forgotten you. He has not moved. He has not looked away. Not even for a single second. Let me ask you something honest. Have you been carrying something lately that you haven't been able to tell anyone about? Maybe it's a situation that has gone on for so long that you've quietly started to wonder if it will ever change. Maybe you prayed about it weeks ago, months ago. Maybe even years have passed since you first brought it before God. And every single morning you wake up hoping that today is the day things finally shift. Hoping today is the day the phone rings with good news. Hoping today is the day the door opens, the healing begins, the relationship is restored, the burden lifts. And then the day passes, and nothing changes. And the silence feels louder than any answer ever could. So you start second-guessing yourself. You start asking painful questions in the quiet of your own heart. Did I do something wrong? Am I not faithful enough? Does He actually care about what I am going through right now? And somewhere inside that spiral of questions, doubt plants its seed. Not a seed of rebellion, not hatred toward God, but a quiet, painful seed of uncertainty. You still believe. You do. But believing has started to feel exhausting. And carrying faith when nothing is changing feels like trying to hold water in your hands. It keeps slipping through no matter how tightly you hold on. I know. God knows. And today He wants to speak directly into that exhaustion. My child, I heard you. I heard you every single time. Every prayer you whispered at night when the whole world was asleep and no one else knew what you were feeling, I was listening. Every tear you cried that you thought was wasted and unseen, I counted every single one. Every moment you held yourself together in front of other people, smiled when they asked if you were okay, and then fell apart the moment you were finally alone. I was there, in that room. In that silence, closer to you than your very own breath. You thought I had gone quiet, but I was never quiet. I was working. Do you understand what it means when I work in the unseen places? I was rearranging things your eyes could not see. I was closing doors that would have caused you deep pain if you had walked through them. I was building roads in directions you never thought to look. I was preparing people you haven't even met yet who are going to change your life. I was healing layers inside of you that years of hurt had buried far beneath the surface. You wanted a miracle in a single moment. I was building something inside of you that would last for a lifetime. And I know that is a difficult thing to hold on to when the pain is standing right in front of you. I know faith feels thin when the pressure feels heavy. But let me remind you of something simple and true. The oak tree does not grow in an afternoon. The diamond is not formed without enormous pressure. And the greatest stories I have ever written in the lives of those I love began in the darkest chapters. You are not in the dark because I abandoned you. You are in the dark because I am doing something in the hidden places that the light would have interrupted too soon. Trust me. Not because everything makes perfect sense right now. Trust me because I have never once failed you. Not once. Look back over your life and show me a single moment where I truly let you go. You cannot. Because it has never happened. There was a man named Peter. You know the story well. Jesus walking on the water in the middle of the night while a storm raged around the disciples in the boat. They were terrified. The waves were crashing. The wind was howling. And Peter, bold and impulsive and full of fire, stepped out of the boat. He looked directly at Jesus and he walked on water, something no human being had ever done before. And then he felt the wind against his face. He heard the waves rising around him. He shifted his eyes from Jesus to the storm. And the moment his gaze moved from the Savior to the situation, he began to sink. Not because God had stopped holding the water firm, but because Peter stopped looking at the one who commanded it all. Can I ask you something gently today? What has your attention right now? Is it Jesus or is it the storm? Because the storm is real. I'm not asking you to pretend it isn't. The waves are loud. The wind is cold. The water is rising around you. But Jesus is still standing right there in front of you. Hands stretched out toward you. Eyes steady and full of love. And he is saying the same thing to you that he said to Peter that night. Why did you doubt? Not with anger. Not with disappointment. But with a gentle, heartbroken love that says, I was right here. I was always right here. You never had to be afraid. I want you to think about the hardest season of your life for a moment. The one that nearly broke you completely. The one where you genuinely did not know how you were going to make it through the next week, let alone the next year. Think about the nights that felt endless. Think about the mornings you woke up and immediately felt the weight of everything pressing down on you before you even got out of bed. Are you thinking of it? Now ask yourself honestly, did you make it through? You are here. You are breathing. You are watching this right now. That season tried to bury you and you are still standing. That is not luck. That is not a coincidence. That is God. Every morning He gave you just enough strength for that day. Every night He guarded your mind while you slept. Every moment you didn't know which direction to turn, He was quietly, invisibly, and faithfully working all things together for your good. He was good then. He is good right now. And He will be good in whatever comes next. So hear this clearly and let it reach the deepest part of your heart. Your doubt does not disqualify you. Your fear does not define you. Your questions do not push Him away. Bring them all to Him. Every single one. Even the ones that scare you. Even the ones you think cross a line. He is big enough for your doubt. He is patient enough for your questions. And He loves you far too much to ever leave you stuck in them. Today is the day you choose to lay it down. Not because you have figured everything out. Not because the situation has suddenly changed. But because you are making a choice right now to believe that the God who created the entire universe has not forgotten one single detail of your life. He knows your name. Not just the name written on your birth certificate. He knows the name of your deepest fear. He knows the name of your most secret hope. He knows the name of the dream you stopped saying out loud because it hurt too much to keep wanting it. And He is saying to you right now, I have not given up on any of it. Not one piece of it. Don't give up on Him. Not now. Not when you are this close. Because sometimes the breakthrough comes in the very moment after the deepest doubt. Sometimes the miracle is standing just on the other side of the surrender. And sometimes the answer arrives in the exact season you almost stopped believing for it. Hold on. Not with gritted teeth and clenched fists trying to force it all to work, but with open hands and a trusting heart that says, I don't understand everything, Lord, but I trust you. That is one of the most powerful prayers a person can ever pray. And God hears it every single time.